Okay, so our aim is to change our non-scale hand-drawn design into an accurate scale design with measurements like here. So that will be a good starting point for working out what we need to do for our actual design. So let's look at how we go about doing this. First of all, you'll download the template, which I'll put on Teams, and it will look something like this. You have some components on the left hand side, your switch, your hinges, and your woofers, which are to the correct scale. And then you have a space for your front, the top, the bottom, the left, the right, and the back. So it will look a bit like this. Yes. And now the first thing to do would be make a decision based upon your design, how big you want your speaker to be. So we have a basic idea of the shape of my speaker, but I don't know exact size, so it's good to get a ruler and just to try and visualize how big you want it to be. So for mine, I'm going to decide I'm going to make mine 16 by 8. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the rectangle tool here. Now our temptation would be just to click and draw, but this will not allow us to put accurate measurements in. So I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is just click on the rectangle tool, and then I'm just going to click on my canvas, and I'm going to type in my measurements. So if I want 16 by 8, I need to centimeters, then I need to convert that to millimeters by times it by 10. So 16 centimeters would be 160 millimeters by 80 millimeters. So this is completely your decision, what you want, and you can change this as you go about making your design. So, but it's a good thing to bear in mind right now, is just to put something in there to get an idea of size. So that's going to be my panel here. Now what I'm going to make sure is mine's already set to be white on the inside, which is perfect, and black on the outside line. So you can change that up here and up here, or you can just change that to color on the inside and the line color here. Okay, so that's how you change the inside and the outside color. Now I need to actually get the front panel as well. So if I look at my design again, I've got wooden pieces on the side, and then I've got this front panel in the middle. So I know my rubber wood is 1 centimeter thick, or 10 mil thick on each side. So the top piece is going to take 10 mil off, and the bottom piece is going to be 10 mil. So if this is 80 high, then this panel's got to be 60. And if this is 160 across, then that's 10 and that's 10, so that'll be 140. So that'll be 140 by 60. So I go here now, I'm going to type in here, click on it again, 140 by 60, and I'm going to press OK. Now I want to get that aligned perfectly to the middle, so I'm just going to move this in here, and I'm going to highlight both of these shapes here, click on the line, click on the line to the middle, and a line to the middle here. Okay, so that is my front panel done. Okay, so now we have our front panel set up. We need to make a decision about the size of our sides here. So what we're talking about the sides, we're talking about how wide are these sides here, or in actual fact, what is the depth of our speaker going to be? How deep do we want it to be? So it's going to be that side and that side. So this is the right hand side and the left hand side of the speaker. We already know the height is going to be the same. So for example, mine was 80, this is 160 by 80, so it's going to be 80 high, my side, but I want to work out how wide it's going to be, which will affect my depth. So when I'm thinking about that, I need to also think about, is this as well, is the depth here. That's what I'm looking at now. Now, remember that one thing you need to think about if you're making your speaker like this is that your width of your wood will determine the depth. So if I choose 8 centimeter wood or 80 millimeter wood here, that's going to be 80 millimeters here. Okay, so that will sort of determine that. So I know this is going to be this size here, right? So 80 by 80 would be what I want. I know this is 80 here, and I know that I want to use the 8 centimeter wood, so that would be 80 as well here. So that would just be a square. So I'm just going to click here, I'm going to click here, I'm going to type in 80 by 80, and that's going to be the size of my side. Okay, so that's going to be that side, that right side there, and I'm just going to copy and paste that because that's going to be exactly the same size on the left hand side as well. So that's quite straightforward. Okay, so now I need to make the top panel here and the bottom panel too. So I know how deep my speaker is, and I know how wide it is. So I now should be able to work that out pretty easily. So if you look at my design here, this is 160 and then this is 80 here. So it's going to be the same size here. So I'm going to type this in here, click here. My width is going to be 160 because it's the same as my front piece, and my height is going to be the same as the depth of my speaker here, 80. So that's going to be my top piece, and my bottom piece is going to be also exactly the same size. So I can actually just copy and paste it, or I can just hold down Option and drag, and then I have my bottom piece here. Okay, now my back piece will also be the same size as my front piece. So I can then just drag, highlight this, and then I can just drag this here. I need to delete the word front, I don't need that anymore. I can just drag this like this here. So now I have the basic sides of my speaker. So how do we save our document? What we need to do is go up here, File, and we click Save As. We're going to actually do it is click Save to Creative Cloud. That means it's going to actually save to the cloud, and it'll be linked to your email address, so that if something happens to your laptop, you'll still be able to grab that file. So I'm going to click Save to Creative Cloud, and I'm going to name it here. So I'm going to name it with my name and what I'm making. So I'm making a speaker, speaker design Simon Ferguson, and I'm going to put today's date. So today is the 6th of October, so I'm going to put in here 6th of October 2024, so I know which version it is, and I'm just going to click Save, and you'll see there'll be a little cloud icon will appear here, so that means it's been saved to the cloud. So that's how we save.